So we're selling this Elddis Crusader Tempest. It's a twin axle caravan, 2012. We bought it in 2015 and we've had it stored on our driveway, hooked up to power. We've been running a dehumidifier on it through winter, so it's safe and secure. I'll show you the inside of the van and then show you some of the things on the outside. So as you come into the van, there's a large seating living area to the front. It has LED lighting up above either side. I've got one on, the other one's not on at the minute. There are reading lights underneath at all 4 points of this, which just turn on and off on the side. There's a TV with a DVD player built in. This turns into a large bed. Above the area there are storage cupboards for clothing, etc., most with a shelf on like that. The light on and off, save a bit of electric. This makes a bed, but before I show you the bed, you can see that one of the blinds is shut on this side. So there are both fly screen blinds and normal blinds. So as an example, that one shows you the fly screen down and back up. This one shows you the main blind that just clicks into place at the front. Same on the side. All the windows actually, they have both fly screens and main blinds. So that's the main blind up. And if you put it down, you can also have a fly screen that clicks into place, and then you just unclick that to allow the fly screen to come up. All the windows open just by a 3-point. You push the button there, lift round, push the button, lift, push the button, click up. There's a click, and then it clicks and holds into place. To make the beds really simple at the front, and it is a really large bed, pretty much king size once it's made. You just pull this out, which forms the central part of the bed, and then you turn the two main covers over, and then yeah, make the bed. Away you go. Once it's finished, you can return it back to its normal position. Underneath is an awning. Underneath this cupboard, this settee is where all the electrical fuse points are, and we have a large awning that's the same length as the caravan stored under there. Same, there's a storage underneath that bed that we've got all of the bedding underneath that settee. Another storage cupboard here that we tend to keep some drinks or the baskets that go and take the washing up if you're going to wash up elsewhere. Also good for storing drinks. And as well as that, if you want a bit of privacy, there's a large privacy screen that pulls across all the way across the front of the van. Clicked in there, so if you wanted a little bit of privacy at the front in the bed, then that's a full privacy screen. There is a working smoke alarm there, and there's also a working carbon monoxide alarm here. This is the alarm sensor, so it senses movement and flashes red. All of the electronics are at the front of the van here, so give you your battery strength. There's an awning light, a main light, and then when you are hooked up to water, you push this here and it turns your water pump on. This is all the electronics for the heating system. It's not a heating system like most conventional caravans, which is just a fan heater. There are heating pipes that effectively run round all the caravan that act like a radiator to the full van when it's when the heating's turned on, so it does get quite warm. In terms of the cooking facilities, this is a really useful feature that you have 3 gas hobs, but then the 4th one is an electric hob. So if you don't want to burn gas, or you don't have gas left in the bottle at the front of the caravan, but you are plugged up to electric, then the electric hob is the option. There is a grill pan at the front, again very rarely used, so it's clean, and there's also an oven which is again quite clean. We have used it, but we tend to cook outside on the barbecue. In terms of washing up, you have the main washing up bowl that turns into a draining board. Normal whale tap for washing the pots. There's 2 plug points there and another light which turns the lights on above the kitchen area. There is a drinks cabinet, and then above is where we store all of the plates, bowls, cups, etc. There is a slight rip in the laminated front of this cupboard panel. Again, I've just glued that together, but above here is where the tea, coffee making things are. Cutlery drawer. Underneath the cutlery drawer is where things like your tea towels, etc. More cooking implements, tablecloths for outside, etc, etc. There is a large cupboard underneath the sink where all of the pots, pans, flasks, chopping boards, popcorn, tubs, you name it, can be stored. And another cupboard underneath the cooker, which has got more space for oven trays, etc. I'm sat on the central area, but I'll just show you that now. So in the central area is the dinette. So on this metal bar here you can place a table, which turns this into a dinette. Underneath again, these seats there is storage, and then this turns into quite a large single bed. So again, plenty of room there for you know, a larger teenager or larger child, or even an adult, because it is quite large when it's made into a bed. Above this area again, a number of storage cupboards which are quite large. So we've got the kettle and toaster in one of those, and large food storage cupboards. There is another roof light above the cooking area, and again this is just above the cooking area, another roof light, but it also acts as a vent, so you can hear it running. At the minute it's set now on a powerful extract setting. I'll just turn down for the noise, but that allows you to either bring air into the caravan or expel air if you want to. Again, another cupboard that we store things in above a microwave oven that is clean and works absolutely fine. Below there is a large fridge that can operate on gas, mains power, or battery power. You just change the modes here and it'll change how it's being powered. You know, if it were going to go on to gas or whatever, but as it's plugged into the mains at the minute. And then there is a power setting also there. We normally plug this in 2 or 3 hours before we're going to go away, and it gets cool quite quickly. So there's shelves for your milk and drinks, plenty of storage in the fridge, nice blue LED, above which there is a freezer compartment, so really useful. The back of the caravan is a triple bunk system. Just before we get to that, we'll show you quickly that there's a couple of cupboards at the side here for drinks and spices, etc. And then in this cupboard here is where we've got the tables, one of which is for the front of the caravan, which goes in that area there, and the second one, it turns this both into a kitchen dinette or the single bed that I've just talked about. At the back there's a ladder, allows access up to the top 2 bunks, and then there's a bunk at the bottom. So we've got 3 children and they slept happily in there as they were growing up when we went away. The top 2 bunks have got windows, again the same system of blinds, but they also open, so there is openable windows there. Each of the bunks has got a little storage, and each of the bunks also has its own light. Comes on there. Again, this is the middle bunk, again with a little storage cupboard, and then the bottom bunk, usually for the little one. Next to the bunk beds there's 2 storage drawers again, large storage cupboard which has got hangers, which is the main wardrobe, and we just store kind of towels and bedding in there. This item here links to the heating system, so you hear a little pump running in there if you turn the heating on. Some advice notices on the back of that cupboard door, and again some light switches. Another vent here, large mirror, and then you're into the bathroom, which opens. Again, some slight delamination of that door there, but not a major problem. The bathroom's got a large shower in it, which we've rarely used, but works absolutely fine. We kind of tend to store some of the things in there, like the kids' bodyboards, etc. It's also got its own vent, mirror, wash basin. Under the wash basin's another cupboard, and then the WC, which is actually piped to the water tank when you got that plumbed in from outside, so you can just push the button to flush. Again, we've kept that really clean and tidy, and then underneath is where you kind of flush the WC, with a number of cupboards as well above. So yeah, really useful to have. And again, you've got a window that's got a closing blind in it too. So that's the main features inside the van. I'll just show you some of the features outside. So we have a couple of steps outside the van, one there and one there. As I've said, we keep the van plugged into power, certainly through the winter while we run an extractor. I'll just quickly open this cupboard, which is where the battery is, which is probably a couple of years old, but it's fine, well charged, and that's where you plug into power. In this cupboard here is basically where all the awning and carpet for the awning is stored, so it's a pretty packed cupboard really. And as you can see down the outside of the van, it's relatively well kept. Do need to point out a couple of little nicks on the van. There is one there caused by a farmer who was spreading lots of muck in a field, and that flew on, hit the van, I'm afraid. But again, could be easily sorted out if you wanted to get that sorted out. So the front of the van is a gas locker door where your LPG cylinder is stored. At the front you've obviously got all of the A-frame and the towing mechanism, jockey wheel. This is the water butt. So effectively you have water coming in from a hose pipe. Once your water butt is full, you simply just take this tube, plug that into there, and then you've got running water so long as you've got water in that tub. As you can see, it's a twin axle, and that is that's a waste hog, as they call it, to collect your wastewater. The cupboard above it is where your WC is, so the waste contents from your WC would collect into there, and effectively do this with two hands. That's captured in here, this vessel, which has got a handle, and then you can just take that off to empty your WC. It's emptied, click it back in, lock it, and away you go. The second slight dent on the back of the caravan is here, again caused by just trying to get through a very tight space one day. So there are a couple of slight little war wounds on the caravan, but other than that it's in really good shape. Finally, I'll show you the gas locker, which I've kind of emptied of most of our possessions just today. We had this gas locker door replaced recently, so it's got new struts on it. So inside there you've got space for an LPG cylinder, space for a second LPG cylinder if you're going away for a longer stay, and then there's some spare bulbs in there. There is a European power adapter. There is the tool that you need to lift and lower the stays, which are the stability legs on all four corners of the caravan. And then this is a useful feature if you do have a barbecue. If you enjoy barbecuing, rather than having to separate or bring out your gas bottle, you can just connect directly into the gas from the caravan, and then the other side of this lead plugs into a gas barbecue, which is a really useful feature. So I'll just close the gas locker door. So effectively That's a quick tour, 15 minutes round this Elddis Crusader Tempest.